Welcome to CAN TV 21 Hotline. Let's talk etiquette. My name is Nathan Wright, and I'm the Executive Director of the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. What a great organization. What an awesome organization. The organization has been around since 2004. So we've been around a few years, but I'm very pleased to be here with you tonight. We're getting ready to get into the holiday season, the holiday spirits. So I want to do something relative to the coming year, 2019. It's amazing how the first 20 years are almost done. We're looking at 2020. It's just around the corner, about 18, 20 months away, whatever that is. But I'm very, very pleased to be here with you today because we do have an awesome subject, one of those subjects that we have covered before. And we want to return to that subject because it's such an impactful subject, such an awesome subject that needs to be talked about on a regular basis. But listen, give me a call. Call me at 312-738-1060. Give me a call. I'm so excited about the subject for today. So let me start with that by giving you the overhead so you know what we're going to discuss today, okay? Let me go right there and let you see what that subject is about. Etiquette-centered mentoring, a New Year's resolution, the power of mentoring with a focus, the power of mentoring with a focus. I mean, really, if you think about that, we are in dire need of mentors. We see the data every day on the news. We know we do need mentors out here in order to have some impact on the conditions that lead our young boys and men to doing atrocious things. They're doing things that are antisocial, things that are harmful to other people. And so mentoring is critical. We can stop the killing if we only mentor to these young men. They're crying out for you to intercede in their lives. And they are overreacting to the conditions that they are confronted with. You know that, and I know that. So why aren't there enough men out here to go into the community and tell that young 12-year-old, that 13-year-old, you don't have to go to 18, 19, or 20, but you can. They need you to. But the 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, those are very harmless children. They don't pose a threat to you at all. They're in the elementary schools all over this city. So you can't say that you can't find them or that they are inconvenient for you. You just have to have the will, the desire, the passion to bring an end to this carnage that's going on in our city. And you can do that. Men, what's your issue? If you can spend 2 hours watching football or basketball, you got 2 hours you can devote to the life of a child. You can do that. It's not going to cost you any money. Maybe a case of beer, some pizza, whatever you spend on that stuff. You can spend that on a child. Take the time to invest in that human being's life. Prevent him from becoming the next convict, the next murderer, the next victim. So I'm asking our men, this is a show for you guys. And the ladies who are watching, please spread the word. Let the men know they do not have an excuse. Not when you see the results and the consequences of what's going on with our youth. So I want you to make a New Year's resolution. If you can do that for me, if you can do that for the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois, make a New Year's resolution that you're going to go out and find one young man. Start in your family, your nephews. Okay, start with them, your cousins, whomever. Start mentoring them so they'll know that there are alternatives to committing violence, to committing crimes, to selling drugs. All of those things that they are doing, we know they're doing it, and we see the consequences of what they do. So it's not like they are hidden. You can find them. Any of these schools out here you can go to. You can go to any of these corners and stand on the corners on Madison, Monroe, wherever. and they're there. And all you have to do is pull over in your car, get out, and have a conversation with them. Let them know that there are alternatives and that you're here to provide some guidance. Etiquette-centered mentoring. The best and most important lessons you can teach them is how to be civilized, how to be cordial, how to be polite, how to be respectful. You can teach that to them. And once you teach that to them, they will understand it and value it. How to be a moral person. Etiquette is about manners and morals. So you have a subject that you can teach, that you can educate them on. And once they are connected with their humanity, then you got a person who's not going to go out and break any laws, not going to go out and harm anyone, not going to break in some old woman's house, old lady, senior citizen house, and rob and murder her. He's going to understand that drugs is a no-no. Absolutely not. I'm not going to ever use them nor sell them. You can teach that to him. That's a part of his being civilized. That's a part of his humanity. And so I'm asking the men and the ladies that are listening and viewing this show, I'm asking you to step up. We men have dropped the ball. Truly, sincerely dropped the ball. So we can do something about it. I want you to join with me and become a maven of etiquette, to make mentoring and etiquette one for you and for those you impact and those lives you touch. Let me put this back up here again so you can see where I am coming from. Etiquette-centered mentoring, a New Year's resolution, the power of mentoring with a focus. Mentor a male child youth on the importance of good manners and morals. If you do that, he won't be a killer. He won't be a thief. He won't be a disrespectful young man. He will not be that because he will be proud. He would be honored to hold a door open for a lady. He would be so respectful that you would think, where did this kid come from? And once you start down that road, he will influence other young men. You teach him how to mentor those who are a lot younger than him. You teach him that he's a role model to those that are looking up to him. You teach him that what he does impact and affects those that are looking up to him. That's what etiquette mentoring is all about. You teach those things to him, he will see that he doesn't have to do this negative stuff, this degenerate stuff. He would understand that he has an option. You're giving him an option. And that's what etiquette-centered mentoring is all about. Giving him a choice to think differently, to think in another way, to say to himself, I am someone that I value. I value and I love myself. And I want to show respect to all other citizens, all other human beings, the same as I show to myself. And so you can help that young man understand that. I know you want to talk about sports and all those kind of things along with your relationship with this young person. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But stay to the course. Stay to the lesson that you want to teach him to be a human being of high honor. That he'll live the rest of his life. He'll be given back just like you gave back to him. He'll give it back to someone else. So it can be a powerful effect and impact on the community. If he's influencing another child to do right and be respectful, then he would take that child and mentor that child. I have a program that we started. In fact, one producer of this show is the president of that program. Youth Saving Youth. That's that program. And so he realized he's 15 years of age, my producer. But he realizes what he does impact other younger boys. It influences them either positively or negatively. See, so he understands his role in life and his role in the community at this time in his life. And he's been respectful to himself and respectful to other young men who are looking up to him and seeing how he does it, how he speaks. He doesn't say, huh? He says, yes. So that affects how they think and how they talk. Just little simple things he does. He doesn't have earrings in his ears, okay? Because he don't want them to mimic him. He don't want them to do that. There's no value, no importance in having earrings in your ear. And there's no cultural relationship with it that's historical in any manner. See, so do what you know is going to be in your best interest in the long run, okay? And for the rest of your life. He's 15, he may live to be 80. That's 65 more years of life. See, and so what is he going to do with that next 65 years? And how many people is he going to impact and influence in a positive way? That's what I'm talking about, mentors. If you're a mentor, it should be on a subject that's definitely directly connected to their humanity. And there's no other way you can calculate that. Etiquette is connected to each and every person's humanity. See, and when you think, you think in etiquette. When you speak, you're speaking etiquette. You're saying things in the proper and appropriate way. You address a lady as madam, or miss, or some title that you're going to give her. And you don't call her a woman, you call her a lady. You elevate her to another level. See, and that's what you have the power to do. You have that power, and exercise it. I think we have a caller. Caller?
Yes, good evening. I just want to bring a point that I think what's really important for when you're mentoring young children, whether they're boys or girls, is that doing etiquette and doing the right thing isn't easy, number one. And that's something they have to understand. It's not easy to do it, but it's the right thing to do because you're do unto others as they would do unto you. Like, it's selfless. It's not about me and I. It's about the other person. And because from that, you will get gratification internally. So I think people are so bent on, well, what's in it for me? Well, right away, well, you don't get that. What's in it for you is seeing what you're doing to others and how it's reciprocated back to you. And I think a lot of young people don't get that. They just think, well, off the bat, what's in it for me? And that's where I think that disconnect is. But if they're thinking, that do unto others as do unto you, then you'll get that reciprocated back. But it's not easy to do, and I think that's another important thing. It's not something at a flip of the switch that's going to happen overnight, and every person that you talk to is going to be the greatest person back to you. No, there are going to be people who are going to, look at you with, like you have three eyes or something, but more often than not, it changes your behavior, it changes your attitude. People notice the difference, and they like that difference. And then as to your point, you are a gentleman, you are a young lady, a person with manners, with etiquette. And that goes a long way, I believe, in a young life through, middle life and into old age.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, caller, for your comments. I'd like to have you on the show sitting right next to me. I think you and I together could certainly make a very powerful presentation on this subject. And I do agree with you, it's not easy. It is one of the most difficult things to do. So with me, when I mentor this person for the rest of their life, at least for the rest of my life. So we don't have a division. It's not a timeline kind of a process. We know, and I know, that they have been educated, not properly educated, but educated to think negatively, to act in a certain way. They've been educated to become that person. When they were born, they was an innocent human being. And when they were 1 year old, they were still an innocent human being. But the process of educating them to be what they are now has been 8, 10, 12, 13 years maybe. So I know that I'm going to be dealing with a child that I'm going to have to persuade that child over a period of years to see it differently. My producer here, I started mentoring him when he was like 7. He's 15 now. So it's been a struggle. It's not easy because the society is feeding them other kinds of things, other kinds of messages that's coming through those headphones. And that rap music that they are listening to is not a very positive form of culture or art. So we have to work. If you believe that you can make a difference, then that means you have to be fully committed That you's not I'm going to go and talk to these young men and that's going to make all the difference. It's not. It's not going to make all the difference. You have to get in that person's life. You see, I have to make friends with his parents so that I'm okay to come and take him somewhere. They trust me. It's a trust thing. Okay? So it's a passion. More than anything else, it's a passion to do something to help another person change their course. And if you can influence them to change it just a little bit, it's going to make all the difference. They won't do nothing stupid. They won't do nothing like put some stuff in their system, in their lungs, that's going to make them out of their minds. That's going to make them do something that they should not have done had they been in a normal mind. See, so those are the obstacles. Those are the things you're going to be confronted with as a mentor. But stay the course. Get in that individual's life. Stay in that life. Okay? I'm mentoring young men in their 20s. Okay? That I've been mentoring for 15, 16 years. I'm still in their life. And I'm calling them. And I'm checking on them. And I'm seeing what they're doing. And they know they can't lie to me. You know, they already know that. When I ask them how's things going, they have to come straight with me. Because I can tell in their response that they're lying to me. And then I'm going to say, wait a minute, what's going on? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. There's something going on. You don't sound right. And they confess up. They normally would tell, okay, it's like this. So I get that information. Then I'm able to give them some advice. Hopefully it'll be some advice that'll be beneficial to them. Hopefully. But this etiquette-centered process is something that you really, they call it just call. You have a absolutely true understanding, correct understanding of what etiquette is and how it impacts the entire society and why do we have it. And so because you have that understanding of it, then it's a lot easier for you to incorporate that into your relationship with your mentees. A lot easier for you. But unfortunately, there are many men out here who aren't conscious of it. They use it. They're aware of how to employ it at times, but they're not conscious of it from an intellectual standpoint. And that you are. You understand it from an intellectual standpoint. Why is it there? What is its purpose? How do you use it effectively? You see? And it has to come from your heart because sincerity is easily deciphered. If you're not sincere, you can see it on your face. You know what I mean? So you have to speak from your heart. You have to buy it as a culture, as a value system. Once it becomes that, and this is what I tell my mentees, this has to be a value system. And what are values? They are principles. They are things you believe in. They are things you stand for, that you represent. Those are what values are. You need to be clear on doing wrong. You don't do any wrong. You know wrong when you see wrong. It's not like you got to be a lawyer to understand wrong. If it doesn't look right, doesn't smell right, it probably is wrong. And so this is where you want them at with their value system. You want to have some impact on that. And so what do? You show them examples of behavior that's incorrect, that's corrupt behavior, that's immoral behavior. That's what you do. You may use a movie. You may use there's a lot of formats out here you can use as examples of what the do's and don'ts are. And that's what it is to be a etiquette-centered mentor. That's how that breaks down. Etiquette is first, it's center of your personality and your philosophy, and you are a mentor. And those three things make up what we want to promote, because at the end of the day, this young person may never break a law or do anything illegal. But if they're lacking the sensitivities that go with good manners, and compassion and empathy that's a part of it, they're missing a bulk of their humanity. Because it is those things that really make you human, that gives you some sense of your purpose on the planet and how you can contribute to the embetterment of the planet by reaching out and saying something, something that are enlightened, that will uplift another person. And so that's our purpose. That's my purpose. That's the purpose of the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. To see if we can uplift just a little bit, if we can get them on a positive track in their thinking. That's so important, and we have the power to do it. It's in your presentation, it's in your delivery, it's in your comments. It's all there for you to utilize it. And so I'm encouraging the caller. Thank you for calling. Your commentary was very, very much on point, and I really appreciate your call. Sincerely, I do. And call again. Please call. Call every week on Wednesday. I would like to hear some more of your comments because you're a rarity. You are a rarity. There's only one other gentleman that calls in on a regular basis that I highly admire and honor. So I don't know your name. Please call again. We would certainly appreciate having your comments because they're right where we're at. This is the kind of marketing that we're doing and promotion that we're doing. Etiquette-centered mentoring. And there's enough men out here. We're not in short supply. We just have to allocate some time away from those things that we're doing that we could do something different with that same amount of time. And find a young person to get in their life. It's not difficult. You can do that. And believe me, when you get in that young person's life, you feel honored. I really feel honored to have the privilege of trying to say something good, decent, honorable to this young person. Hopefully that will influence his thinking so that he will make other choices that are more meaningful to himself and to others. If I can get him to do that, then I have achieved a great deal. Just in that one person. It's worth it. See, so this is what we are as a collective, as a society. We have come together to make it better for everybody. So that we all can contribute to the betterment of the whole. And yes, we have a lot of negative people. A lot of people who don't want to take the time to do anything but have fun, enjoy their lives. But they are the minority. I'm going to believe they're the minority. That the majority wants to have a real wonderful quality of life. I think the majority wants that for everybody. You can have a wonderful quality of life, but everybody else is having a very, very inequality of life. So let's join together at every level and bring this force into reality so that we can say 5 years from now, as the murder rate goes down, yes, the murder rate will go down. See? And we have the power to do it. We don't have to call on the government. We don't have to call on the church to help us. We have the power to bring that murder rate down and that incarceration rate down. See? Where you can walk the street once again and feel absolutely safe. That you don't have to worry about anyone doing anything to you. That was the life that I grew up in. We didn't lock our doors in Chicago. See, we didn't what like you do? What do you do? Yeah, if you're going on vacation, if you're going away for a while, and no one is home, you lock the door. But if you're at home, you didn't lock the door. It was just that safe. So it can be that again. Children played together, but the parents took responsibility for their children. They made sure their children were mannerable and polite. That they said, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I had to say that. Yes, sir, Mr. Jones. Never referred to him by his first name. That was just unheard of. Yes, ma'am. That's what our parents taught us. That was etiquette taught in the home. And we can get back to that. Parents got to turn that TV off and get serious about parenting. Okay? That's all it boils down to. Get serious about parenting. Turn that TV off. Monitor what your child is observing and listening to. And if you can do that, you can make a difference in the future of our society. Let me put our information up right quick. You can reach us at 312-444-5400. 473-2942, or you can email us at info@efoi.org. How time flies. Appreciate you listening. Thank you, caller, for calling, and look forward to another great show next Wednesday. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.